All right, welcome to the 12th day of Christmas. You've made it to the 12th day. We're going to do one more small Christmas drop of hope tomorrow on Epiphany and talk about the adventure of Epiphany. But today we wrap up the 12 days of Christmas. This is the 12th night of Christmas, right? And I hope you've been celebrating. I hope you've been tuning in, staying along as we have been journeying through the work of Christmas. We've been looking at a quote from Howard Thurman. We've been looking at the words of Dr. Bruce Epperly in his book, The Work of Christmas. Make sure that you get it, reread it. If you haven't been following along, if you just caught us today, I would encourage you to get it. It's so good. Such a challenge for us to live the reality of Christmas every day of our lives. Personally, I've loved celebrating the 12 days of Christmas. This is the first time in my entire life I've thought about the 12 days of Christmas and done a very intentional devotion each day and thought through the celebration of Christmas for 12 days. So I hope you've been doing that as well, okay? So here's what it says in Luke. In the time of King Herod, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem asking, "Where is the child who has been born King of the Jews? For we observed his star at its rising, and we have come to pay him homage." Well, when King Herod heard this, he was frightened, and all Jerusalem with him. And calling together all the chief priests and scribes of the people, he inquired of them, Where is this Messiah going to be born? And they told him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for so it has been written by the prophet. And you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For from you shall come a ruler who is to shepherd my people Israel." Then Herod secretly called the wise men and learned from them the exact time when the star had appeared. And then he sent them to Bethlehem, saying, "Go and search diligently for this child. And when you have found him, bring me word so that I may also go and pay him homage." And when they had heard the king, they set out. And there, ahead of them, went the star that they had seen at its rising, until it stopped over the place where the child was. And when they saw that the star had stopped, they were overwhelmed with joy. On entering the house, they saw the child with his mother, and they knelt down and paid him homage. Then, opening their treasure chest, they offered him gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. Here's what Howard Thurman says. "When the song of the angels is stilled, when the star in the sky is gone, when the kings and princes are home, when the shepherds are back with their flock, the work of Christmas begins. To find the lost, to heal the broken, to feed the hungry, to release the prisoner, to rebuild the nations, to bring peace among brothers and sisters, to make music in the heart." I love it. What a good summation of like the actual work of Christmas. Here's what Dr. Epperly talks about. He says that King Herod was frightened of a little baby. Imagine that. A world based on fear. A world based on fear. That's the world that Jesus was born into. It's the world that we're born into, right? A world based on fear, whether of refugee children like Jesus and his family, or today's political refugees, will eventually collapse from isolation and hard-heartedness. That's what fear does to us, right? It isolates us, it hardens our heart, but love always trumps fear and hate. Love opens us to novelty and wonder and inspires us to bring beauty to daily life, to live the lives of the vulnerable, right? That's what happens, like to live lives of vulnerability. Yes, joy and beauty to the world because God is here. That's what we celebrate. So the truth is Christmas, right? It's a season, but it's also a state of mind, right? And that state of mind comes to us in little things, right? The little ways we look for beauty in ugliness and we seek peace in conflict, right? And on this, the 12th day of Christmas, right? We don't need partridges or rings or maids of milking. We need the dream of God's realm to energize and challenge us. We need to make a commitment to become Christmas people, builders of a new world. We need to be people that embrace persons in need, right? That we need to see Christ being born and reborn in every child around us. We need to be praying that we take our Christmas spirit into the season of Epiphany, right? The season of the Magi and God's revelation in unexpected places. Right? This light of the world that John talks about, it's still shining. But here's the thing, it shines in you, it shines in me, it shines in all of creation, and the darkness can't extinguish it. I hope that we, the Crossroads family, will be God's revelation, shining like stars in the heavens to give light to every weary pilgrim, that we could go forth in God's light. Listen to these lines, these lyrics. Break forth, O beauteous heavenly light, and usher in the morning. O shepherds, shudder not in fright, but hear the angel's warning. This child now weak in infancy, our confidence and joy shall be. The power of evil breaking, our peace eternal making. I love it. So listen, Crossroads family, this 12th day of Christmas, we are peacemakers. We are people who are called to be Christmas people, to every day recognize that this child, this Jesus, is being born afresh, being born new, and we can then experience this Jesus in the broken and the hurting around us, in our neighbors, in our friends, and in our family. And so I want to encourage you on this 12th day of Christmas, as we wrap up our 12 days of Christmas, that you commit to carrying this Jesus in your own womb, in your soul, that you bring this light into the world, that you accept this call to do the work of Christmas. All right? Hey, thanks for going on the journey with us. Thanks for being a part of the 12 days of Christmas. I will see you tomorrow back live for the Daily Drop of Hope. See you then.